So I think I described the premise of this chapter best in my Demon Slayer 203 spoiler video. The chapter is essentially a tug of war between Tanjiro's family, friends, and Demon Slayers that tragically lost their lives versus Muzan, with Tanjiro's sanity being the rope. And Muzan has a pretty compelling argument, promising Tanjiro he can become the ultimate being, the ultimate life form. But my guy Tanjiro, he's tired. He's done. And so he wakes up. Now obviously there's a buttload more to this chapter, with the bulk being Muzan's sales pitch within Tanjiro's mind realm, and Tanjiro struggling to resurface, struggling to retake his humanity. But in true shonen fashion, Tanjiro pulls through with the help of his pals. And it all is very shonen as we wrap up this arc, with the spirit of shonen genres and Weekly Shonen Jump's motto, friendship, effort, and victory being the foundation of Kimetsu no Yaiba. Though Demon Slayer separates itself from its competition with a knack for making us fall in love with a character or two before severing their limbs and or obliterating them entirely. Maybe a little more adult than the tag would let on. For the artwork in this chapter, there's a great dynamic of illustrated textures here, with Tanjiro being pulled from background art of veiny, vascular demon flesh into a more serene, bright garden of wisteria flowers. Though a minor detail in the black and white manga tried to imagine the vivid colours Tanjiro will transition through in the anime adaptation, however many years down the line. Now, I'm not much for yaoi or a boys love kind of guy, so I don't know how deeply rooted the Tanjiro-Muzan shipping fandom goes, but it feels like Otoge went all out with sowing the seeds for these panels. Loads of shots of Muzan kinkily embracing Tanjiro, and I'm sure solidifying the niche for Demon Slayer doujins and fanfics for years to come. And that's great, but let's talk about Tanjiro's injuries. I predicted a couple of videos back Tanjiro's regeneration would wear off as he regains his humanity, and he would lose his arm and his wounds would open back up, killing him. Well, this seems to be partly true, as we see the inner pupil on his right eye consistently shaded through the chapter to suggest it may no longer be functional. This was the eye with the massive ball of Muzan cells covering it for so long, though this isn't conducive as it's not confirmed, and it also differs from Canal, where her eyes were drawn dramatically differently when she lost use of one of her eyes. In contrast, Tanjiro's eyes are only shaded ever so slightly differently. Also, his arm is blocked from view, so it's tough to see if Tanjiro is a couple of pounds lighter or if he got to keep it as a memento from his demon transformation. This is one to check back on next chapter. Finally, we see the additional Demon Slayer marks have regressed, and we are left with the classic skin Tanjiro as we close out the story. In all honesty, with how much I enjoyed the artwork in the last 2 pages, I would have been content with Demon Slayer ending on this chapter. No, not because of the artwork's incredible detail, not to say that they weren't great, but more so because of the sentiment they capture in such brevity, in such a concise way with minimal dialogue needed. Tanjiro and Canal locking eyes in relief that the conflict is over says 1,000 words with a simple stare. And especially with Yushiro closing out the chapter, though he himself not a pivotal or central character from the beginning, but instead closer and analogue to us, as a meta commentary on watching Tanjiro's story unfold. This was Anime Fried Chicken. Subscribe for Demon Slayer videos straight to your feed. I do discussion videos on all sorts of anime and manga through the week and cover Demon Slayer on the weekends. Stick around and grab my next Demon Slayer or anime video. I also make similar videos on my side channel, Manga Fried Chicken, for Black Clover, and I'm wondering what kind of videos I should make after Demon Slayer wraps up. Hit me up with some ideas. Thanks, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.